Hi Capricorn, here's a general look at your solar chart for the whole of 2012, and this is part 1. Also, there is another video I did called Shift 2012, which explains a little bit more about the outer moving planets and the Grand Cross and the blueprint, vibrationally speaking, which is underpinning a time which is probably going to be quite dramatic at some moments, a time of lots of change and some upheaval every now and again in certain places across our planet in 2012. So astrologically speaking, there's a lot of hot planetary activity still affecting your sign, but there's a couple of changes this year, and it's going to make things easier for you than they were last year. Mars is in a fellow Earth sign, and Saturn is due to leave Libra in October, and Neptune is shifting into Pisces in February. So that is going to be helpers for you. You being one of the cardinal signs have got a lot of planetary energy coming at you, have had a lot of planetary energy coming at you in a sort of a hard angle, so you've been on a huge evolutionary learning curve and feeling at some moments, a lot of turbulence and a lot of discomfort and a lot of change and, things which are a little bit, can be a bit of a rough ride. But like I say, there's going to be some helpers for you in 2012, so that's good news. Both Venus and Mars are going to be in unusually long transits. Venus will be in Gemini from the 4th of April to August the 8th, and also sharing the stage with Jupiter from June onwards. And for you, that means Venus is going to be gracing your area of work and health over that period. So if your health has been out of whack, or somebody around you, then Venus here is going to bring support, probably, bring more ease and flow into that area there, and really be a little bit more helpful for you. And also, as far as employment or just daily work routines are concerned, it's almost like the feeling of working with a team, in a team, a dynamic duo, or in a small team, is going to be very highly favoured. And in general, it's likely that you be served better by service providers, those employers, employees, colleagues, and it also means that you just get this feeling of having good practical support coming your way, and like I say, but you're pulling together in this sort of team. And then Mars is going to stay in Virgo until July, 4th of July 2012. Again, this is in a very positive angle to your sun sign, Capricorn. So really for some of you, it will be time for you to kind of spread your wings, feel the spirit move within you, get out of the regular tight box that has become familiar and safe, yes, but and maybe look, and get the broader view, look to the far horizon. This planetary transit can dynamically activate travel, training as well, higher education, whether you are on the receiving end of it or whether you're giving it, or connections over the wires with those foreign cultures, languages also, or maybe not over the wires, maybe you're actually going to these places, intellectual and legal activities, and foreign sort of business kind of dealings as well. And you could be seen more yourself as the helper, the guide, the teacher, in some certain situations with certain people at certain times, over this very long transit. Also, some of you who want to be broadcasting across a wider platform, then that could be altogether likely with Mars here, because if you've got the drive and you channel the Mars energy correctly and don't get too full of yourself, because actually Mars can be a little bit of an adrenaline junkie and a little bit kind of uppity, kind of not letting people finish their sentences. In this communications sector that it'll be in, because it's also a strong area for communications, then you can do very, very well. But sometimes you just have to rein back that urge to kind of motivate and initiate and push too hard, too fast, you see, because Mars's strong suit is not patience. However, your strong suit is patience, so the two of you can work really well together. In fact, Mars can be a very, very helpful planetary vibe for you up until July 2012. But there's other things going on as well. Also until June the 12th, Jupiter is in Taurus again, a stunningly positive aspect to your sun sign if you play your cards right, because with all of these planetary frequencies, they kind of barrel through us, they channel through us, and it's up to us to use them or not, you know, and use them well as we can anyway. So this is a time when potentially you can be developing a creative project, or your own creative self-expression more. It can mean that you're having more involvement with young people, children, animals, romantic partners, which bring the inner child out of you, which make you feel like you're the center of attention and you can shine and you can play and you don't feel self-conscious, you see. So it does bode well for a more playful, loving, or entertaining environment. So you may grow a great deal. Jupiter is the planet of growing through doing, having this kind of social life in these sorts of fun-orientated or even entertainment-orientated areas, performance-orientated. It's very good for promoting stuff. It's very good for sales. It's very good for, you know, being a little bit kind of theatrical in a performance-type sense as well. And you can make money. You can make money from speculative ventures, investment ventures, or if it's not money, then get useful resources and make use of talents as well. You need to loosen up with Jupiter in this sector here, because it is all about play and, you know, that child that you once were, or maybe you still are. You know, I think that a healthy adult has got an inner child that's alive and well, and is not too kind of bound by the rules, you see, not too hidebound. So this is a time when you can make use of talents, maybe in a leisure sense, in a hobby, you could be also rubbing shoulders with others who are very competitive, because this gets your competitive juices flowing as well. But with Jupiter here, you should, again, as long as you don't take on too much. That's the only fault with Jupiter, really, is that we bite off more than we can chew and we can't meet deadlines and commitments. Then you should do well and be in environments that are lighter. You should feel confidence growing over these months as your spontaneity comes to the fore. You feel more satisfied with what you're doing. Not every day, all the time. This is over certain moments when Jupiter's making certain aspects, but yeah, it does bode well for you. And Capricorns across the whole of the sign will feel this until mid-year, and then from mid-year, that's June the 12th, Jupiter moves on into your area of health and work and Scorpio, and will be there for a year, and that means there will be no shortage of opportunities for you to improve things related to employment, training, the job, but also your daily routines. You're learning through doing here. There will be some moments when you'll be laughing at yourself because you didn't quite get it right, but there's something very jolly and upbeat about the Jupiter energy, so it wouldn't be too dire. The indications are that you will get the chance to learn new methods of coping on a daily basis, whether that's in a formal job or whether that's just you on the home base. And employers or colleagues, co-workers, or those that you're just doing stuff with, especially in the time that Venus is there, will tend to be more appreciative, more grateful for your help, for your abilities, your contribution, and it's likely that through colleagues or employers, your territory, physical or mental, will broaden. And Jupiter has a beneficial vibration and it could also facilitate you getting healthier and fitter, along with what I was saying about Venus earlier. Just finding the right practice or therapy or remedy or therapist or practitioner that suits you, that's right for you, because we're all so different. And it is not a one-size-fits-all world with health at all. So now, that's what I think anyway. And it will help this energy, if you play it right over this year, it'll be the help to enhance your quality of life, maybe the nutrients that are going through your body. Maybe you're going to, go for those that have got much higher levels of life force energy in them. The downside is that you take on too much, as I say, too fast, overextend yourself with a diet or with some sort of practice for getting healthier, and then you crash and burn. So remember, to take it steady. And you are a good sign for your sign is very good at understanding that it's got to take things steady. But don't be too hesitant and too cautious either, which, you might err on the side of caution. So, Jupiter, the only thing about Jupiter is that it can bring on too much too fast for you to handle. So remember, we've all got to deal with this vehicle we walk around in, and sometimes its needs aren't the same as what we're thinking. So, as far as the job's concerned, more job satisfaction is likely, and better health could be coming your way over this period. Also, foreign connections, travel, those at a distance, different languages could be emphasized in your daily work routines. That's in person or over the wires. And you Capricorns born up till the 8th of December, or with up to 17 degrees rising, 16, 17 degrees rising, will feel this vibration mostly, I think. Then Saturn, your ruling planet, is continuing its transit of Libra until October. And that means you're in this cycle of having to work harder at reinventing yourself across the wider world. It's about image. It's about how others see you, so you'll be very aware of reputation and image. And this is the 29-year cycle of Saturn, which has you redefining all of that stuff, changing your life direction maybe quite radically, and restructuring your outer world in gradual stages. And you have to be very patient, maybe being on a step of the whole flight that you're not particularly happy with, but if you just keep your eye on the step you want to get to, then then it kind of comes into perspective for you. And if you're old enough, look back 28, 29 years, and then you get the gist of what's unfolding in your life now. And then you can, if you look back that time, you can say, okay, that's what was happening then, and I know what happened next and how it was. And then you'll see that it's quite doable. But of course now you are older and wiser, aren't you? And you just got to be persevering, related to profession, related to bosses and authority figures and important people in your life as well. It's not just about work. It's about people that you consider to be important. It can be parents also. And you've just got to be, again, a little bit cautious, but also responsible, feeling a bit more pressure on your shoulders, a bit more of a burden, but just keep on plugging away there. And this can be a rewarding time, as a matter of fact, because you begin to feel that you're proving things to yourself, that you can do this, that it's working, it's slow, but it's working, and it's step by step to rise to the top of the tree, or to get further up, anyway, the ladder, or with, people who are important to you in your life. And you Capricorns born from 11th of January onwards, or with 21 degrees of Capricorn, rising until the end of the sign, will be feeling the influence of Saturn mostly, I think. And then Saturn moves into Scorpio, and it's in a much more helpful angle then from October the 6th, 2012. It begins this long 2.5-year transit of Scorpio, and it's going to be a helper for you. It's opportunistic. It'll help you to build with contacts and maybe a new social circle, and you might feel a little bit out of your comfort zone sometimes with certain people in certain situations, but it's taking the long view. It's helping you to build things to do with, you know, your place in the hierarchy or the pecking order. Now, if this is like a neighborhood or a community or a club or some sort of group that you come into, then again the same rules apply. You know, steady as you go, softly. Change will come gradually and improvements gradually, and you find your place, you find your level. Slowly people trust you, you establish your reputation, your credibility, if it's in a working sense as well. You know, you might be the new kid on the block. I don't know quite how it might be working, but it's definitely time to steadily and slowly maybe watch your P's and Q's a little bit with certain people, but cultivate certain people. And if you have maybe with an association, maybe with an outside group of people, maybe over the wires, maybe in a networking sense, and you can achieve your goals by, you know, making certain key contacts. And also the other thing about this is friendships. So some friends might let you down and you might feel disappointed, but then those new associations that you start to make will turn into firm, strong, long friendships, because Saturn likes things that have got continuity over long swathes of time. So that it tends to be what's going on. That's the feel of it anyway. And you Capricorns born up until the 2nd of December with up to 11 degrees of Capricorn rising are likely to feel the energy mostly from October 2012 onwards. Uranus is next, but I'll talk about that at part 2, so I'll see you there, I hope. Hi Capricorn, here is part 2 of your overview for 2012. Now Uranus is going to be transiting the root of your chart for many years. Uranus is the planet of change, transformation, but sometimes temporary upheaval. And the root of your chart is about your past, your family, your place on the map, and where you're anchored inside. So there could be, at times, a feeling of unsettlement there. And for some of you, ties with the past may be broken in some cases, but in other cases it might be that they are just renewed, because the Uranian energy is about transformation, and in order to transform in whichever area this planet goes, the vibration will do its best to renew and you know, get you on a freer, more liberated, happier footing. But sometimes that means a breaking of what went before. Of course, this energy is going to channel through you, so it's up to you how you play this card. But I have to say, in some cases, the Uranian energy is what I would call force majeure. In other words, it is circumstances beyond yours or anybody's control at the root of your life. So it can work in various ways. For some of you, it might mean that there's going to be changes of scene, more kind of toing and froing from the home base or some sort of base of operations, or maybe the base of operations is going to shift to another area that would meet the criteria of, you know, that criterion of the Uranian energy. And it could mean that there are change in the dynamics of the family or the community or the neighborhood. It might mean that there is a lot of change affecting a family member, or maybe it's between you and a family member. It is just a governing factor that there will be change that is kind of rocking the boat a little bit. There could be more people coming into your home, though. That's another way it can work. Or more going on in your neighborhood or community where people are pulling together. This is, you know, there's always a flip side to all these planetary energies, and it is my job as the astrologer to kind of give you the gist of what it might feel like if it was a vibration which was off key a little bit. But as I say, these energies channel through us, and we really are the ones in control if we only knew it. So the foundations could be rocked internally, externally. You could be in a new place You may feel ambushed from time to time by sudden change, but this is facilitating evolution, so the universe knows what it's doing, even though we sort of squeak and kind of feel like, you know, we aren't doing what we'd planned. But the universe has a greater mind and heart than we have. So anyway, you Capricorns born in the first week of the sign, which is approximately 22nd to the 27th of December, or with up until 7, 8, 9 degrees of Capricorn rising, could feel this Dorothy planet, the one that lifted Dorothy up and put her down in a place which was definitely not Kansas in The Wizard of Oz. Neptune next. Neptune's been making its influence felt in the area of finances, joint finances, joint property, joint ownership between you and what you share with someone, or deep emotional sharing with someone. And, you know, misconceptions, wanderings, uncertainties, confusions, confused feelings. Neptune is coming out of there and is sliding into its home sign Pisces on February the 4th, 2012. Some of you, and stay there for, you know, about 14, 15 years. 2025, I think it comes out of there. So it means that over that very long transit, some of you could become interested in more mystical ways of thinking and being, or poetry, music, dance, learning a new language, being far more sensitive to your intuition, using your imagination more, helping artistic ability, getting into meditation, interest in metaphysics, the occult, interdimensional travel. I mean, you get the gist of it. So, and in some cases, what you thought was written in stone, an absolute truth in your life, you know, in a belief system or an ideology you've always held, or maybe it was, you know, taught to you from childhood, you find out that it's an illusion, and actually you could even find out that it was a mass illusion all along. You know, we were all under the same enchantment. So, skepticism is healthy. Just hang on to your wonderful, renowned skepticism, Capricorn, and test all theories against it. You know, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. You early Capricorns, born from around the 21st to the 25th, or with up to 4 degrees as Capricorn rising, will be feeling the effect of Neptune in 2012. By the way, it is in a very, very good aspect to your sun sign once it's moved into Pisces. Pluto is in your sign. This is the headline news for you. It'll be there for several years to come. It's affecting you Capricorns born 26th of December to the 1st of January, or with up to 11 degrees of Capricorn rising in 2012. This is about you, your evolution. This is about you are the chick in the egg. This is really it's a tiny little planet. In fact, astronomers are calling it a planetoid now, but it packs quite a punch. And basically, you know, it's way out there on the fringes of our solar system in a very eccentric elliptical orbit, but it is very powerful, and we feel it deeply within ourselves as you know, we feel more sensitive and passionate about things and people. They feel quite casual, but we feel terribly passionate. And our demons could come to the surface. You could see the darker side of yourself. You could feel darker moods coming in, because this is about evolution. So all of this buried under the carpet stuff has got to come up. You know, the toxins have got to bubble up to the surface in order to be kind of slain like dragons, I suppose. And you have this increasing urge as you pecking out of this egg. You're the chick pecking out of this egg. It's like the space that it's all you've known. So there will be a lot of letting go. You know, just coming out of this egg, and then the egg just falls open as the Pluto transit comes to a conclusion, and then you're like, wow, I never knew. You know, this life was here. I just wouldn't have imagined this great big egg I'm in now, but actually, yeah, it is another egg. But, you know, pecking out of one egg per Pluto transit is quite enough. So anyway, you'll have this increasing urge to be free of outlived aspects of your life in relationships and work and place on the map. It could be one of those things. It could be, other things as well. But, you are evolving. Now, there's 2 solar eclipses this year, May the 20th and November the 13th. The first one's at 0 degrees of Gemini, the second's at 21 degrees Scorpio. The first one will send a pulse of energy over coming months to do with a change, new beginnings around employment, the workplace, colleagues, equipment, work setup. It's not negative, it's not positive, it's just the energy of change. And so really, you can make a change. You can do just one little thing on the eclipse day, which is putting your, setting your direction in the direction you want this eclipse energy to pulse with over the coming months. I hope you understood that. Actually, sometimes we feel the eclipse energy coming up to the eclipse time of the month before. Strange but true. But if you just do one thing on that day, it's almost like you make a statement of intent. Ditto for the second one in Scorpio, which is in a very good angle to your sun sign, and it's in an area which is to do with friendships and working within a team or a group or a collective or over the wires. Again here, new beginnings in your sector of friendships, social circle for work or pleasure, or personal, professional, and maybe also a venture, something you've waited to do, something you've always wanted to get on with. This eclipse energy can help that start to come into manifestation if you play your cards right. Again, making this statement of intent and allowing the energy to pulse through the months. Subsequent months, and could be to do with collaborating with others who have shared interests in common, or being in a community of some kind who have a shared passion or interest in common. And that's it for 2012. Also, you want to know, no it's not, you want to know, maybe some of you want to know when Mercury goes retrograde. So Mercury retrogrades 3 times every year for about 3 weeks. And this year it's going to be March 12th to April the 4th, that's Pisces Aries. And then July the 14th to August 7th, that's Cancer Leo. And then November the 6th to November the 26th, which is Scorpio Sagittarius. But more on that as the year unfolds. And also you might want to listen to your rising sign or your moon sign to see if you can glean any more. Sort of just get the shape of things to come, really. This is what this is about. All I can hope to do is give you a gist of it as far as I see it. But other astrologers will see it in their very own unique way. And you might want to listen to the other video, the Shift 2012, if you want to know more about the armature upon which all of this change is hanging across our globe in 2012. And there's going to be quite a lot of it, and some dramatic moments here and there in certain places at certain times, because we are coming to the end of a great era of time. So that's it. I wish you well, and I'll see you the next time. Take care.